Good afternoon and welcome to the Big Bear Yoga Festival. I'm Kathleen Coombs. I live down here in Crestline and I trained with Big Bear Yoga to become a certified yoga instructor. So I am naturally disappointed that we cannot be in person this year to do our yoga festival. However, I'm so happy to bring to you a chair yoga routine that you can do anytime, anywhere that you have a chair. You don't even have to have a mat. Chair yoga is a beautiful, beautiful way to show self-love and to engage in healthy self-care using the chair as a prop. It allows you also to do yoga at work, to do yoga at home. It makes yoga accessible when maybe it otherwise wouldn't be. Some people get hurt, some people have illnesses, some people as they age find that the way they once did yoga is no longer available to them. But when we use the prop of a chair, it changes that picture entirely. And then we can really focus on the joy of yoga. One of the values that we are promoting this year in the festival is Ahimsa. Ahimsa means do no harm. We're also focusing on the idea of community and connectionalism through yoga. So when I am able to bring yoga to people using a chair, I really feel like I am drawing people into the yoga community that otherwise would not enter. So every Wednesday, I bring yoga to my coworkers via a virtual setting, and I also offer it free to the community at the same time, which allows me to draw people in who will have previously said, I'm not flexible enough, I'm not strong enough, I have a history of shoulder injury, I have a history of back injury, people that are afraid to enter the art of yoga because they think they can't do it. So I invite you to join me today and discover how great chair yoga can be. One of the mudras that represents community, that represents ahimsa, that represents connectionalism to everybody around us, to the universe, to the world that we inhabit, is the lotus mudra. It's associated with the crown chakra, but you can also associate it with the heart chakra. Thinking of it in terms of that 1,000-petaled lotus of multiple colors, extending out your intention and your love and your good thoughts to the world, to the universe around you, but also drawing it back into you, drawing it close to you. So today, as we go through our flow, I invite you, at any moment that it feels good to you, take this lotus mudra. You can do it in certain poses. You can do it while we're sitting in meditation, breathing today. So, looking behind me, here's our chair. So, the only advice that I have to offer to you about chair yoga is make sure that you find a chair that doesn't move. So if you're using a folding chair, that's totally acceptable. You don't need a special folding chair. A regular old folding chair will do. Just make sure it still has the rubber feet on it so that it won't move. You can do your chair yoga on a mat. You can do it on a carpet, just like I am in my yoga studio at home. And you want it to be a height that allows for your feet to be flat on the floor. So if you don't have the availability of your feet flat on the floor, you can always take a couple of yoga blocks and place them underneath your feet. And finally, make sure that it's a chair that isn't wiggly so that as you move in the chair, you feel well supported. It is ideal to have a chair with a back because we are going to be taking our version of Savasana, our resting pose, while still seated. But if you desire at the end of our practice to get out of your chair and lay on the floor, allowing your legs up the wall or on top of the chair seat, that's also entirely acceptable. In our practice today, we will be doing poses in the chair and poses out of the chair, using the chair as a wonderful support. So join me. So first, I invite you to sit all the way back in your chair, allowing your shoulders to press against the back of the chair. Placing your hands on your thighs, let's just start breathing. Breathing in and out of your nose gently. And as you engage in your breath, start to lift up your heart and allow your shoulders to float down, still keeping your shoulder blades in contact with the back of your chair if it's available. Make sure that your sits bones are in firm contact with the seat. And as you breathe in and out, begin to feel the belly expand on the inhalations. And on your exhalations, it comes back in. Now I invite you to inhale and fill your body cavity up with air. And exhale. Feel the breath draw from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. We have 5 elements that make up our existence, one of which is space or ether. I invite you at this time to consider the ether that is inside of you. And as you breathe, you are filling up that space, that ether. Imagine all the places where ether hides, where there is space in your body. And now I want you to consider the ether that is outside of the body, all around you. And now I invite you to breathe your ether into your body and extend it all the way until it reaches the ether on the outside of the body. Let's do 2 more of those kinds of breaths. And let's do another one of those. Now I invite you, so that we have the space to move kind of towards the front of your chair. So keeping your sits bones in firm contact with the chair, letting your heart draw upward as your shoulders float down, hands sitting just on top of the thighs. Take an inhale and draw the shoulders up to the ears. And on your exhale, allow them to float backwards and down. Let's do a couple more of those shoulder rolls that way. Inhaling, shoulders up. And exhaling them down, widening our chest. Inhaling them up. And exhaling them down. Now with your shoulders down, I invite you to create as much space between the shoulders and the ears as you can as we begin some neck circles. So part of the way we may show Ahimsa, a sense of doing no harm, extending that into self-care and self-love, is we do movements with mindfulness and purposefulness. Neck rolls are important because if we have a more fluidly moving neck, that fluidity translates down the body, down the spine, allowing movements in other parts of the body. But for some people, neck circles can be very painful if we don't have the space, the ether, and if we don't go at a pace that matches our body's needs. So I always invite you into a practice of mindfulness of connecting your breath with your movement. So what I want you to do is inhale the crown of your head up nice and tall. Take an inhale, drawing the spine long, drawing the crown up. And then on your exhale, drop your chin to your chest. On your next inhale, turn your head to the right, leading with the chin, and circle it back slowly. And exhale to the left, drawing your chin down to the chest. Keep linking your breath with this motion. And go as slow as you need to. And keep your neck circles in alignment with your abilities by leading with your chin. And if you find that the circles are a little bit strained, draw those shoulders down, creating lots of space between each and every vertebrae. Now we're going to reverse that. Let's inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And let's do one more of those. Pausing at the bottom, lift up your head on the inhale, and let's bring our hands out and up on our inhale. And exhale them out and down. Inhale them out and up and create length between each and every vertebrae, lifting up the heart, lifting up the ribs, drawing the shoulders down the back. Take an inhale. And exhale, float the hands down, keeping that length in your spine. Let's inhale the hands out and up again, and let's hold that length. Reaching up, feeling that lengthening, feeling the space you're creating, not just in the lower back, but also drawing those shoulders down and creating it in the neck. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, let's float down and just lay the body across the thighs, dropping our hands to the floor. And just initially, keep your head with your crown moving forward, creating length in the spine, feeling that gentle opening of your lower back, of your middle back, your thoracic, and feeling that extend to your shoulders and to your neck. Now allow your head to drop, just still keeping your body in the same location. Drop the crown of your head so that it's facing the floor. And feel that release in the neck. Feel that softening in your facial muscles. Feel any energy that you're hanging on to that you might think is tense energy. Feel it draining out of the top of your head. Placing your hands on your shins, inhale your heart center up. Inhale the crown of your head forward. Drawing your shoulders away from the ears. Create lots of length in the spine. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, separate your feet slightly and allow your torso to fall between your legs now. So your knees are on either side, kind of near your shoulders. Maybe you're feeling your sits bones come off the chair just a little bit. Make sure that you're supported and that the chair is not going to move and that you're not going to fall. And then let's reverse that. Inhale, rise all the way up using a flat back and bring your hands overhead. On your exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. And exhale, floating forward in between the legs. Allow your heart center to drop towards the floor and then drop your crown. Inhale, creating that flat back, lifting up the heart, legs against the arms. And exhale, floating down. Inhale, reverse it, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Let's do that one final time. Inhale, our hands out and up. And exhale, floating them down. Drawing the heart center down. Drop your crown towards the floor. Arms against your shins. Draw the heart center forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, dropping it all down. And on your next inhale, reversing that, bringing our hands out to the sides and all the way up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Drawing our knees back closer together. You can have your feet about 1 or 2 fists apart. Let's bring our hands out and up again. And on our exhale, let's turn to the right. So bringing left hand forward, right hand back. Maybe it's resting on the back of the chair. Maybe you're holding the back of the chair with your hand, engaging in a gentle twist towards the right. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Take another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring both hands up overhead. And on your next exhale, take your left hand backwards as you bring your right hand forward. Once again, a gentle twist to the left. And let's take one more inhale. And exhale, bring both hands overhead. On our next exhale, we're going to twist to the right. But next time, just place your left hand on the outside of your right leg and reach behind at a lower point on the back of your chair with your right hand. Maybe you're looking over your shoulder. Maybe you're just looking to the right. Allow your sternum to guide you. Wherever your sternum is turned, that's where your shoulders might be turning as well. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's bring both hands up and over. And exhale, do that same movement to the left. Right hand on the outside of your left knee, left hand low on your back of your chair. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, turn forward. One more time, inhale, hands out and up. And exhale, allowing them to come down. So we're going to get out of our chair and do some sun salutations. I love using chairs in a way to make things like those sun salutations more enjoyable. Feel free to create as much extension as you want for your body, whatever feels good, within these different asanas that we will flow through. If you don't have a lot of extension, don't worry about it. You are benefiting your body by linking your breath to movement, and over time, your body will open up when it's ready. So rising up out of our chairs, let's take our chairs and put them towards the right side or the top of the mat. So if you are on a mat at home, my recommendation is that you have your mat perpendicular to the camera. You can turn it forward as long as you can see me well. So that's all that really matters to me, is that you have a good view at home. So standing in front of our chair, let's take our Tadasana. Turn our hands forward, draw the shoulders down, lift up the heart, lift up the ribs, and feel your tailbone start to descend towards the earth. So notice that my middle section muscles here, all of my abs are engaged, my side waist muscles are engaged, and I'll show you that motion of moving the tailbone towards the floor. So I've just allowed my back to arch out a little bit. Watch my rump as I bring it down, which brings the belly button in, brings the muscles up underneath the ribs. and allows for the heart center to now lift up. And a little hint for you at home. The more you lift up your heart, the more you engage all of your core muscles. So this is a real call to us for really great posture. Let's take a nice inhale and bring our hands out and overhead. On our exhale, float forward, bring our hands down to the chair, and bring our forehead to the chair. On our inhale, straighten out our arms, draw the crown of our head forward. On our exhale, float back down again. Feeling your sits bones rising towards the ceiling. On our next inhale, let's rise all the way up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Take an inhale, bring our hands out and overhead. And on our exhale, floating down, hands to the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat back. And on our exhale, drop our forehead back down to the chair and take our right foot backwards. So, take your lunge as wide as you would like it to be. You can even have your knee on the ground if you want, but I'm going to demonstrate these lunges with my knee off the ground. So, keeping our hands on the chair allows us to have support while we lift up our heart center, drawing the shoulders back and down, and then maybe you can also bring the hips slightly forward, straightening out and strengthening that leg that's behind you in your lunge. Take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, place your hands on the chair, move your feet back, and then move your heart center over the chair. We call this a plank. And today we're just going to take this plank for a couple of breaths. Take one more inhale. And then on our exhale, let's move backwards, drawing our hips back, drawing our hands forward. We call this downward facing dog. So if you were doing yoga without your chair, your hands would actually be on the floor. This is a wonderful preparation for learning the mechanics of the downward dog, where we're allowing our heart center to draw towards the floor, towards our legs, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. And in this modified version, we can have our torso kind of parallel to the floor or even slightly dipping down to really open up our hamstrings. Take a nice inhale. On our next exhale, take our right foot forward. And so now we're doing a lunge with our left leg behind us. Inhale the heart center up, strengthening that leg that's behind you, making it as straight as you can. And then on our exhale, take our left foot forward. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale the forehead down. Inhale, reverse that, rising all the way up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Take an inhale, bringing hands out and up. And on our exhale, we place our hands on the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Take our left foot back now, same as before. Right foot forward, left foot back. Lift up our heart, draw the shoulders down, really stretching out our left psoas by straightening out our left leg. On our exhale, let's take our right foot back. Take that plank again, moving our heart center over the chair. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, move the hips backwards into our downward dog. Really feeling the stretch by drawing your hands forward, allowing your collarbones to widen, allowing your heart center to draw down towards the floor. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, take our left foot forward. And lift up the heart center as we straighten out our right leg behind us, strong and straight. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, take our right foot forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, forehead to the chair. Inhale, reverse our swan dive, bringing hands together at the top. And exhale, bringing them down to heart center. Inhale our hands out and up. And exhale, let's swan dive forward and do that again, but let's do it a little faster. Forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, forehead down. Right foot comes back. Inhale our heart center up. Exhale, planting the hands on the chair, left foot comes back, and we move the heart center over the chair and plank. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, moving our hips backwards. Take an inhale, and exhale, right foot comes forward. Lunge on this side. Inhale, the heart center up, and exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale into a flat spine, exhaling down. Inhale, reverse our swan dive, rising all the way up, and exhale. Bring hands to heart center. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. And exhale, swan dive forward, drawing the heart center down, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down, left foot comes back. Inhale, lifting up our heart center again. And exhale, planting our hands, moving back into plank. And then go back into downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, left foot comes forward. Lifting up our heart center. And exhale, bring the right foot forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale, reverse our swan dive, rising all the way up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. We're going to go for a third round with a twist. Bring our hands to the chair, floating our forehead down to the chair. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down, take our right foot back again. And this time, plant your right hand in the center of the chair. Bring your left hand so that it is at your waist or at your hip, and draw your left shoulder back. But keep your knee in place, keep your hip in place, keep your right leg strong and straight behind you. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Take a beautiful inhale and exhale. Plant both hands on the chair. Let's move back into that plank again. And now let's do a chaturanga. So to do chaturanga, we move the heart center over the chair, bring our elbows into the ribs as we lower the heart to the chair. And then scooping our body along the front of the chair, we move into what we call upward dog. Feel the heart opening in that. Just feel that. Lifting up and out of the hips, a nice little arch on the back. And then on our exhale, moving back into the downward dog. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And we're going to do that one more time. Bring our right foot forward now. We're going to twist to the other side. Inhale the heart center up. And exhale, plant your left hand in the middle of the chair, right hand to the outside of the right hip, and twist to the right. Drawing the right shoulder back as you engage in this twist. You have this opportunity to see this pose from the back end, which really shows you a little bit about the alignment on the back of the body versus the front. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Take another inhale and exhale, turn towards the chair. Let's go back into that plank again. Moving our heart center over the chair. Exhale, lowering chaturanga. Inhale, scooping along the front of the chair in your upward dog. And exhale, moving back to our downward dog. Really enjoying this stretch, really feeling your heart opening. Enjoying that. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, let's walk up to the chair again. Inhale into a flat back and exhale down. Inhale, reverse our swan dive. Rise all the way up and exhale. Bring hands down to heart center. Now, we're going to use our chair to go through a warrior sequence that will also include triangle. So warrior poses help us to connect with the strength that's inside of us. And they also serve as a reminder to us what we are setting as our intentions and maybe even struggling a little bit with, so that we can live out the truth of who we are and who we want to be. So when you engage in these warrior poses, remember that you're not truly a warrior on the battlefield, but you are a warrior for all the things that you believe in. And oftentimes those things that you believe in are indeed what creates that sense of community and connectionalism among all of us, because we care about the goodwill of our society and of the people in it. Let's take our hands out and up. And on our exhale, foot forward, hand to the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat back, exhale down. Take your right foot back and plant your heel on the floor, so it's not a lunge. It is warrior one, and both our sets of toes are facing forward. Now you can keep your hands on the chair as you lift up your heart, or you can bring them overhead. Lifting up your heart as you draw your shoulders down, drawing the belly button in, feeling that beautiful stretch on the back of your leg, but also feeling the space you've created to bend your front leg more deeply. Just feel how strong you feel in that pose. Now, on this next sequence, you're going to see the back of my body. On the next round, you'll see the front of my body. We're going to open up now into Warrior Two. So in your Warrior Two, you can hang on to the chair, or you can release from the chair, and you can create as much length between your front foot, so that's your left foot facing the chair, and your back foot, which is away from the chair. You can even have your shin touching the chair like I am in this circumstance. And then once you go into Warrior Two, like I said, you can keep one hand on the chair. You can bring both hands up to shoulder level and draw those shoulders down as you lift up your heart. And remember, when you lift up your heart, it creates space for your belly button to draw in and for you to engage all of your core muscles and maybe even more deeply bend that leg that's near the chair. Let's take a nice inhale and exhale. Let's inhale again and exhale. Let's straighten out the front leg. Now, what I want you to do before we go into triangle is create length. So create length and space by lifting up the heart, imagining that right above or right below your hip bones, you have like an air pocket that you're creating, making it bigger and bigger as you lift up and out of the creases of your legs. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, drop down to the chair. Hand to the chair. Right arm comes overhead. And just enjoy the opening of this triangle pose. I hope this feels really, really good to you. Let's take another inhale. Now, if you want greater extension, you can drop your elbow to the chair. And in that way, you can allow a little bit greater stretch on your front leg. And you can allow your torso to come so that it is parallel to the floor or more parallel. So there are different variations you can take even with the chair to make poses either more accessible or even more extended and more satisfying if that's where you are at in your practice. Let's take another inhale, and on our exhale, let's turn towards the chair. So we're going to do pyramid pose using our chair. So you can keep your hands on the chair, drawing the heart forward, and that may be enough of a stretch for you. If you want a deeper extension, place your elbows on the chair and clip the elbows back, drawing your shoulders back, drawing your left hip back as you draw the heart forward. With your body parallel to the chair, you may find you're getting an amazing stretch of the back of that right hamstring. Or left hamstring, sorry. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And if you have even more space, you can turn your arms and allow your body to come closer to your leg, drawing your forehead perhaps to the chair. Let's take a nice inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's rise up. Keep our right hand on the chair, left hand to the hip, and let's twist like we did when we were in the lunge. Now, if you want a deeper stretch along the back of either leg, you can place your right elbow down on the chair. Maybe have your arm parallel to the front side of the chair. Feel that difference when you go into that revolved triangle. Now, if you want to, you can bring your arm overhead as well. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Let's take another inhale and exhale. Drop our hand to the chair. Inhale, lifting up the heart center. And exhale, bending our left leg. Cartwheeling our arms open into Warrior Two. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, cartwheel them back to the chair. Move your left foot back in that plank. Moving the heart center over the chair. Take an inhale and exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, rise into upward dog. And exhale, move back to downward dog. Feel that lovely stretch along the backs of the legs. Take a beautiful inhale. And exhale, let's move the body up to the chair again. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down. Inhale, reversing our swan dive, rising with our hands all the way up and together overhead. Exhale, bringing them down to the heart center. Take an inhale, bring our hands out and up. On our exhale, let's float them down, dropping our forehead to the chair. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, bringing it back down. And now we're going to take our left foot back in our warrior one. So having your right shin near the chair, your left look behind you, your left heel down, lifting up your heart center. You can keep your hands in contact with the chair or bring them overhead, remembering the original principle that if you create space by lifting up the heart, you might have more room to bend your front leg, drawing the belly button in, drawing the shoulders down, really feeling your whole torso working. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Let's take another inhale and exhale. Open this up into warrior two position. So you might have to adjust your feet as you saw me do just then. You can keep your hand on the chair rather, or you can bring it off the chair in your warrior two presentation. Drawing the shoulders down, drawing the heart up, creating as much space as you feel like you want from your front heel to your back arch. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's straighten out our front leg. And again, in this triangle position, we're going to lift up the heart, create space underneath those hip bones at the hip creases. Take an inhale and exhale. Drop to the triangle. So if this is your triangle, that's acceptable. If you want more extension, dropping your elbow to the chair, experiencing that. Remember to create lots of space by drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Let's take another inhale, and on our exhale, let's turn towards the chair, setting up for pyramid. So you might need to be up high in your pyramid. You might choose that, or if you want, you can drop our elbows to the chair, drawing the heart center forward, drawing the right hip back. And if you want a deeper extension, you can even place your forehead on the chair. Let's take a nice inhale and exhale. Inhale, rising up, both hands on the chair, placing our left hand in the middle of the chair, right hand to the right hip, and twisting to the right. Now, maybe this is your revolved triangle, and that's okay, or maybe you drop your left arm parallel to the chair and go about it that way. Listen to your body. Answer to the call, remembering the principle of Ahimsa, where we do no harm. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Let's take another inhale and exhale, turning towards the front of the chair. Rise up. Exhale, bend our front leg. Cartwheel our hands open into warrior two again. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, cartwheel them back to the chair. Bring your right foot back to join the left. Move over the chair in your plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, rise into upward dog. And exhale, moving back to downward facing dog. This, you guys, I teach yoga. I teach power yoga. I teach gentle yoga. I like a good vinyasa flow. I like a good ashtanga flow. But I love my chair yoga too, and I love bringing chair yoga to you. Let's take a nice inhale. And on our exhale, let's walk back up to the chair and change the orientation of our chair so that our chair is now facing the camera. That way, you can have the very best view of me. I'm taking a little break so that I can turn my camera back on. There we go. So, standing at our chair, I'm going to start off on the what is the right side of my chair. So on the camera, I might be on your left. So we're going to do tree pose. And the reason I'm choosing tree pose is a wonderful pose that you can do with a partner. So the theme of our festival is connectionalism, community, Ahimsa, do no harm. So when we do partner yoga, if you have never done it before, it is a very fun practice. And it's a wonderful practice to do with your children, with your life partner, with a good friend, whomever you like. But tree is really nice because you can do it together. I don't have another person here to demonstrate it, so we're just going to use the chair today. But it's also nice. Tree pose is a great pose also to work with us on balance. And when we have the benefit of the chair, we really learn about the principles of how to balance the body so that later on, when we are not with that chair or any other support, we have the muscle memory and the strength created to do it. So when we take tree, before we get started, let's start off in Tadasana. You can have your arm on the chair, your other arm is down, and really go into a good strong Tadasana. Now move your weight over to the foot that's closest to the chair. And again, you're taking Tadasana on that leg. Lift up and out of that hip so you're not sinking down into it, okay? And then take your leg that's away from the chair and turn it outward. So initially, you can start with your foot down by the ankle. You can have it wrapped around the calf. If you have good clothing that cooperates, you can have your leg all the way up to the top. There's a fourth variation, but I'm going to skip that one. Now take your other arm that's free and bring it up and make it into a branch. You can continue hanging on to the chair if you want, or you can release from the chair. And while you're doing this, remember to spread the heart wide, spread your shoulders, draw the shoulders down, widen those collarbones, and allow your heart to shine up to the sky. You can also bring them overhead in prayer pose. You can bring them down in goddess. And you can even take lotus here now with your hands in this lotus mudra. Imagining all those rays of light shooting out from the top of the crown of your head and drawing back down to the crown of your head. Take a nice inhale, and on our exhale, let's gently release out of that. And let's go to the other side of the chair after we take a little wiggle. So starting off on this side of the chair now. So the foot that is closest to the chair, remember you're taking Tadasana on that leg, not allowing the hip to sink, right? Then take your other leg and turn that hip out. You can have it down by the ankle, wrapped around the calf, all the way up the leg, if that is your preference. When you arrive there, remember to keep lifting out of your standing hip. Then take your left arm up and maybe release the other arm. Hands overhead in prayer is an option. Down to the top of the head in goddess, opening up our fingers in our lotus. Take a nice inhale and exhale, releasing that out ever so gently. Wiggle it out. Now we're going to go to the other side, and I'm going to invite you to take dancer pose. I'm going to actually move my chair a little bit closer to the camera so that I don't touch the wall behind me with my foot. So dancer is a very satisfying pose that allows us to really open up the chest, open up the heart, and open up our hips. So to start in dancer, we're going to do the same thing. Take Tadasana on the leg closest to the chair. Reach back and grab the other leg. So right foot to right hand, and grab the foot on the inside. Still hanging on to the chair. Take a nice inhale, lifting up our heart. And on our exhale, move forward now. Move the heart forward, taking your leg with you. And then to further extend, you can start to kick that leg backwards and up. And you can go down with your heart as much as your extension allows for it. You can place your hand on the chair to give you more space to do that. Let's take a nice inhale and exhale. Gently come up. Fall out of our pose. And let's go to the other side. Trying it on that side. So you might have felt a nice opening of that right psoas. So on the other side, creating our Tadasana on our right foot closest to the chair, reaching back with the left hand, grabbing our left foot on the inside. Take a nice inhale. And on our exhale, bring the heart center forward. The knee starts to trail back naturally. And then when you want to create greater extension, place your hand on the chair and start to bring that left leg up. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Gently come up. I'm a little bit more graceful this time. I think it's good for you to see that the yogi gets it wrong sometimes too. Now we have a third round of balancing poses for you that are really fun. You can have bent legs when you do this, by the way, so don't worry about straight legs. So bring your right knee up to the chest using your right hand. And let's use our right hand to draw that knee out to the side. And let's do some passive hip circles with that leg. Feels good to open up the hips. And having nice open hips reduces our risk of injury. And it creates a sense of openness in the whole body. Now let's bring our knee forward. So let's initially just draw the hip or the knee up to the body. And then you can reach down and grab your toes. So your knee is on the outside of the arm, and you're holding your toes with your right two front fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, and your thumb is wrapped around your big toe. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, reach your foot forward. If you find it hard to grab with the toe, you can also hold on to the outside edge of your foot. Lift up the heart. Draw that shoulder back if you can. If you need to bend that leg, you can. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, bring it out to the side. And you can bend that leg if you need to. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, bring it forward. Bring it back to the body. And gently lower it down. Let's change sides. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, balancing on the right leg. Reach down and grab your toes or grab the outside edge of your foot, whatever you like the best. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, straightening that leg forward. I have to re-grab my foot. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, bringing it out to the side. Oops, I'm hitting the wall. Take an inhale and exhale. Take another inhale. Exhale, bring that foot forward. Bring it back close to the body and lower it down. Wiggle everything out. And I'm going to do one more hip opening pose using our chair before we sit down. So go ahead and spread your feet wide and take star position with your toes. So your toes are going out to the corners of your mat. They're at a diagonal. Lift up the heart center in your pose. Maybe take your arms out wide, feeling your heart stretching out, spreading your love to the universe and to the community around you. Take a nice inhale. And your exhale, if you want to hang on to your chair, you can, as you drop into Goddess. And all you do in Goddess is allow your tailbone to start to move towards the floor. Keep your knees so they're in alignment with your baby toes. You can place your hands on your hips. You can bring them out into Goddess pose. You can even hold your arms in cactus. Whatever works best for you. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise up, spreading your arms out in star. And exhale, bring hands down to the chair. Heel toe your feet back so that they're behind the chair. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Let's go back to the chair and open up our hips a little bit to wind up our 45 minutes so far that we've spent together. So let's take our right ankle and cross it over our left knee. And draw our toes back towards the knee. And initially, I want to invite you to just lift up your heart. Allow your shoulders to float down. Give this hip time to open up. A lot of us have tight hips. Some of us are nursing hip injuries, and we need to be kind to our hips. We want to keep them fluid and keep them open, but we must recognize what our current range of motion is now and what it is we need to do to, in a very safe way, increase it. So let's take a nice inhale. And then on our exhale, we start to draw the heart center forward. So leading with our heart, keeping our back straight. Just draw the shoulders away from the ears and draw the heart forward. So instead of rounding the body down to get it close to that leg, just keep moving the heart forward. And trust that over time, gravity will help you. And you will find that your body starts to naturally descend. And so that space that you have between the chest and the leg starts to get shorter on its own without you having to draw down towards it, allowing gravity to do the work for you. Let's inhale, rise up gently. And then let's allow our leg to continue crossing over that leg again. And we're going to just take eagle arms right now while we're here. So take your arms up like they're robot arms and run your left arm underneath the right. Twist the forearms and bring your hands together. Now bring the elbows up and draw the shoulders down, drawing the forearms away from the chest. And find a fixed point in the distance to look, feeling a beautiful stretch along the back of your arms. Now, if you want to, you can be humble as an eagle and bow into this eagle pose. Inhale, let's rise up. And exhale, gently unravel the arms and release them down. Let's go to the other side. Take our right leg off of the left. Take our left ankle, crossing it over our right knee. Same thing. Let's take a moment to just allow the hips to open up. You might find one hip is more open than the other. Just observe this difference. We say, don't exploit the open side and don't overly push the less open side. Try to find balance in the body, which is a nice metaphor for balance in life. Let's take a nice inhale, lifting up the heart, and on our exhale, floating forward again. So you may find you can get closer to that leg with your heart center on this side more easily than the other. Still just take your time, allowing gravity and the breath to do their work to take you into a deeper form of the pose. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Inhale, rising up. And on our exhale, allowing our legs to cross again. And we're going to take eagle arms in the opposite direction. So running the right arm underneath the left, twisting the forearms, bringing hands together. Bringing the forearms away from the face, lifting up the elbows, drawing the shoulders back and down. Take a nice inhale, and you can take the humble version if you want, bowing your elbow down, your eagle down. And then inhale, rising up. Exhale, unravel the arms and release them down. I realized that I did not give you a nice hip opener on the left side with passive circles on that side. So let's bring up our knee to the chest and do some passive circles with our left leg, just like we did with our right. I try to do those every day. So moving back, allowing the chair now to fully support us. Now, if you want to at this moment in time, like I spoke about at the beginning of the video, if you would like to get out of your chair and lay on the floor, if you would like to put your legs up the wall, have your legs flat, or even place your legs on top of the chair, you are invited to do whatever is going to make you feel best in your final resting pose. So in Shavasana, I invite you to allow your body to become heavy, feeling the weight of your body fully supported by the earth. Just start to feel yourself releasing that tension you might be holding or any impulse to engage your muscles. Just allow it to melt away and melt down to the earth. Start to become mindful of your respiration. Become mindful of your heart rate. And maybe through the breath, you start to slow all of it down. Feel your tension drain from the crown of the head and from your forehead and your face. Feel it start to release from the shoulders and from your chest. Feel it start to dissolve from your arms and your hands. And feel all the muscles of your abdomen and torso release their energy and relax. Feel your hips and your back sink deeply into either your chair or the floor. And feel heaviness in your thighs as all the muscles relax. Feel any tension leaving from the knees and from your calves and from your shins. And then feel yourself fully relaxing your ankles and your feet and your toes. Think about the love that resides in you. Taking that love and showing it to yourself through acceptance, through letting go of the chatter outside of you or inside of you that may cause you to live in a state of self-doubt and might cause you to not be so accepting of who you are. Think of your neighbor. Think of anybody that is in your life and in your space. And taking this love that you have and connecting with them through that love. Feel the synergy of the love you send out coming back to you. Knowing that the more that we send that love back and forth, the more we are contributing to the health of the world that we live in and the health of ourselves. One of the thoughts I want you to be left with today is that you are very important, that you matter, and you are never alone. You have a designated, very special place in this world, in this universe, and you are important for all of it to work well. If you ever feel alone and disconnected, I invite you to return back to this meditation of self-love, this meditation of love for the world that you are in, for all that is in it with you, for the universe beyond. I invite you to take Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes every time you practice. Indeed, it is the most important part of the practice. The light in me sees the light in you, and the yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Thank you for joining us at the Big Bear Yoga Festival. Namaste.